Okay, traders gold. Okay, I posted this idea yesterday. This was it here, and on that pullback we're looking for this opportunity, and that was the markup. If you're still in this trade, you could consider closing this. Well, maybe not right now. Let's just have a look at this. And also, here's something to think about. Let's just go out first. Have a look at the weekly and just see what that looks like. Okay, so it's reaching into no man's land up in here at the moment. There are a lot of strength behind that. We don't have a decisive level so far. It's kind of hovering midway through. Actually, if we go down, we could possibly... Yep, okay. Let's go down to a 1 hour chart, scrunch it up, and just grab the volume profile, because that might give us a little bit of a heads up. Anchored volume, and just throw it in. Where are we? About back in here. Just see what it gives us. Yeah, so we've got this point of control down in here. Let's move it. No, that's no good. We need to... Well, we need to keep it there. Okay. So here's the thing with this now. We open this up, and this will give you some history. If you have a look here, you've got this level here as a key resistance level, and I'm just going to label that something. Range, that'll do. All right, just have a look at the volume profile. See how these nodes poke out here, and then above it. Well, I think that would be that would be the key for me. That level there. Establish that as a definitely a level of interest, and you've got fairly thin liquidity. If you have a look, like you've got this value area here, and you can see that, and then it runs in, and then you've got potential resistance here. There's a little bit of a node here too, by the way, right there. You can see it comes out. So I would call that a level of resistance. So here's the thing with this. Let me just back out of here a bit. All right. I think we're trading into possibly exhaustion with this trend. And you don't want to be buying at this level. See how it respected this line here, by the way? That was my target yesterday. All right. You know, like, I am not going to... I prefer to buy down in here. This, and if we pick up... let's go down to a 30-minute chart. There's a couple of tools that I really like to use. Volume profile is one. And yeah, look, see? That's giving us a bit of a closer look at these nodes here. Where my mouse is at the moment, that's key, that level. All right. So here's the thing. If you grab the... what happened to my tools? Just here we go. I got the anchored volume profile. I like the fixed range volume profile, but the anchored VWAP. And you can throw it on the low of this, where this move originally started, right? And have a look at this. So you've got VWAP, which is this blue line here. VWAP coincides with this level. See how we're trading two deviations out from VWAP heading into number 3 here. You just got to watch that, guys, because what can happen is, it drives up. You get drive 1, drive 2, drive 3, and then wham. Yeah, and then maybe it does that as well. But you've just got to watch out because, this third drive, it's exhausted. Smart money accumulate. This is the accumulation back here. This is where big money all through here. They worked in their orders all through there, right? This rallies, where do you think they're going to unload? Well, they've got to pair their orders with something. So, and there's very thin liquidity up there at the moment, right? So the way that they unload, I'm thinking, is possibly we see this start to see how it formed. Well, see, here's the thing, like, it needs liquidity. This is how they engineer liquidity. That's also an accumulation. They didn't really drop it under because there's... this is where you get a big pool of, sell stops, right? Under this range, you get a lot of people buying here. This is untapped liquidity under here. So that would be a prime target for this to pull back. And there's your VWAP, right? So be careful. And I mean, look, we could see possibly some sort of, they might have to create some sort of a range like they did here, but just keep an eye out. Like, it's London session. I'm thinking maybe later on tonight into New York, where this finds a range here that will build liquidity above that they can tap into so that they can reverse it, like so. I mean, you know, that's just how I think, right? That's my thought process. So the other thing you want to watch for is this. Let me just grab a marker, and we're going to come back to Monday. All right, we're looking for Sunday. We're looking for, okay, where Sunday turns into Monday. Sunday, Monday, right? Sunday. All right, well, we'll just grab that, okay? Have a look at this. We've got the low. So I'm just going to pick it up from the low. I'm going to pull it across, and we're going to go up to the high. Double click it. I'm just going to grab a label for that. This is the weekly range. See how price opened, and you've got here this. Grab that. You get the open. It runs liquidity, so you get the low of the week. So open, this is the candle, a weekly candle. Open, low, high, close. So I'm going to be looking for an opportunity to counter trend trade that. And you want to look for this opportunity through the US session when, if and when, this starts to break structure and it pulls back, right? So you're going to be looking for, like, it's in a bullish trend. All you need to look for is that, basically. Let me just label that. So here's my trade plan. Just gonna do that. Liquidity channel. See how when it trends back, it will break structure. That's bullish. All right. And I mean, it's the same thing. Like, if you're looking for a bearish opportunity, here it is here, right? So I'm looking for a bit of a range, and then simply put, when that range is cracked, you get that break of structure. BOS, there it is there, right? Okay, so I'm going to be looking for exactly that up in here when that turns around and we come down into the low. So where is the low going to be? Well, we don't know, but we've got this price range, low to high. It pulls back, low to high. You could go for, I mean, it could be a really aggressive pullback. We just don't know. It could come all the way back down into this liquidity under this range here, right? So that's a possibility. I'm not predicting, where this is going, but a couple of things you can do is grab the fib retrace, and like if you pick it up from like this low here, fib down low to the high at the moment, that's equilibrium. So we're looking at this price swing, this whole range from this low. Yeah, you could pull it from here. You could even pull it from further back if you wanted to. You might argue that you want to pull it from that low there, but look, let's not get too pedantic about things, right? I'm just looking at, let's just keep it simple. We've got this price swing from fib retrace. This value area low right there up to the high. And this low to high here, equilibrium, works beautifully with this support. It works beautifully with my 50 to 61.8 possible buy opportunity on Monday, Tuesday, right? But watch out. It's still pushing up here, look. Watch out for that. Yeah, it could push up and then, it develops a high further up, right? That's possible. So just don't buy at the high, buying at a premium. Sell at a premium. When you see this market structure shaping up, then I'm going to be looking for a possible short. I don't want to ramble on too much, but I hope you understand what I'm on about. Note sell. All right, I'm looking for that. And then, look, the opportunity Friday, you want to look for it midway through the New York session, or whenever it starts to roll over. You want to get this this rotation where it does that. So that's a bit of a trade plan, guys. Now, if you see it rotate and it breaks this structure, breaks this low, and we get, okay, BOS or CHOC, whatever you want to call it. CHOC would be, a slight first break. The second one is a break of structure. But what am I saying? Oh, I've lost my thought process. Never mind. See, that's actually pulled up even now up to 7R, nearly up at 7R, 6.5R. Amazing. Oh yeah, what I was getting at was, okay, so then when it sets up, let's just say that happens. I mean, it could happen higher or lower, but where you see this price action, that's probably a little bit early, but there's your stop loss right there. There's your entry point right there, and well, that's a 2.4 target, 2.4R. I'm inclined to go all the way down here with my target, and if you're going to be tracking it, you're watching it. Let's just bring that to the front. Look to close 50% at 1R. All right, close 50% at 1R, and start to trail it and see how far we get. That is my plan for gold. I'm going to take that out because I'm not predicting that that's going to happen here. That's going to happen wherever this price action plays out. All right, so that's a Friday close. Okay, thank God it's Friday. It's the counter trend trade at the end of the week, and we're looking for that weekly high and then pulling back into the close. Okay, guys, look, I think on that note, I'd love it if you commented. That would be awesome. Like share your thoughts. What do you think? Are we on the same page? If you've got a screenshot you want to share, go ahead. Join the party, okay? And with that, I hope you have a fantastic day. Safe trading, and see you in the next one.